Hi, good evening. Oh, glad you could make it. I know it's really cold outside, so perhaps you're still thawing, but it's quite warm in here. So we're really glad you're here tonight. Please feel free, if you haven't already, grab a seat wherever you'd like. There's, of course, some cookies and things in the back, and then that beautiful sheet cake with your Citizens Academy logo right on top of it. So we'll cut that once we've had our brief ceremony here this evening. It's really nice to see so many family and friends out tonight. So thanks for coming out and supporting the great work that your friend or family member did in the last 10 weeks. So we're really excited to have you here. I'm Andi Crawford, and I serve the City of Lansing as the Director of Neighborhoods and Citizen Engagement. And, thank you. When we were thinking about what we wanted the Department of Neighborhoods and Citizen Engagement, which is a brand new department under Mayor Schor, when he came into office on January 1 of this year, a short 11 and change months ago. We really were thinking about what are the ways that we want to do things that are hopefully interesting, fun, interactive, that help citizens be a part of the City of Lansing and to be an active participant with the city, to help us think about opportunities, challenges, and ways that we can collectively make our city better, make it work better for us as citizens and community members. And so one of the things, there's many, many things that we've done this year to begin to think about that differently than maybe it's been in the past. But one of those that we thought was really important was to introduce a Citizens Academy. And so hopefully you have gotten a lot out of this. I know we have gotten a lot out of it as a staff and a leadership team within the city. I know that every week that I had the opportunity to be present, I really learned a lot. And I thought, wow, I work here. I thought I had some clue what all we did, but it was amazing to see the expansive and complicated work that people do in the city every day to make things happen, right? To make water come out of your sink and stoplights work and all of those things that we take for granted in our city. We expect them to work right, but behind that is a whole lot of people making a whole lot of hard decisions and doing a lot of great work to make that happen. So hopefully you got an inside look and an appreciation for some of that. I know that was a big part of my learning in the Citizens Academy. So really happy that you're here. Most importantly, we'll turn it over to Mayor Andi Schor to kick us off this evening.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this wonderful graduation. This is exciting. We talk about many of the initiatives that we wanted to do when we came into office, and this is kind of the completion of one of them, at least in year one. And it feels to me like it's been successful. And I've heard from a lot of you who have really enjoyed the program. So thank you for being our guinea pigs. Thank you for being our first class, and we're working out all the kinks, and you got to be that initial inaugural class. So this year, this evening, we're here to celebrate you and to celebrate your accomplishments along with your family and friends. We appreciate you all coming out. So on behalf of the City of Lansing, we want to thank you. I do want to mention we've got I know Clerk Chris Swope is here somewhere. There he is. He's sitting over there. He'll have a role later. Many of you met many of our department directors, and I think we got 4 or 5 of them here. I see Angie Bennett in the back, our finance director, who probably taught you more about finance than you ever thought you wanted to know. She teaches me that every day. We have Andy Kilpatrick, who's our public service director. Again, a fantastic wealth of information. I expect people saw that. I hear you guys were in the sewers and things like that. So I did not make it out for that. Hopefully next year. But it sounds awesome. We've got our crack fire team, our fire chief, Dave Purchase, and our assistant fire chief, Mike Tobin, who are also in the back. Did I miss anyone? Kilpatrick? No. Oh, and Brett was here. Is he here? Oh, Brett Kaczynski, who's our Parks Director, was here when we got here. So these are some of our department directors that you've probably met. Of course, the wonderful Andi Crawford, who is doing an excellent job with our neighborhoods department. And I do want to thank her and her team. Why doesn't everyone in the neighborhood department raise their hands? They're all standing. I saw Aaron. Oh yeah, here we go. They're all here. They're doing a fantastic job. So thank you all. This is not easy to set up, the logistics, moving people around. Every once in a while there are kinks in the system, like when you all came to my office and I ended up sitting down with you for an hour doing Q&A, and then I was told that was not the plan. I was like, it wasn't? The plan wasn't to be with me? No, that wasn't the plan. The plan was to see City Hall, which then you had to come back and do on your own volunteer time outside of the hours. So my apologies, but I actually really enjoyed that hour. I would have stayed there for another hour if she didn't tell me, the big hook, we're done. That's it, exactly. She gave me that, no, you're done. But you all know this. In the past 10 weeks, you guys have toured City Hall, City Council chambers. You were at Foster Park. You were at the South Washington office complex here with the clerk for election stuff and training areas. You saw the iTech bus. You were in the Lansing wastewater treatment plant. You were at the Lugnuts Cooley Stadium. You were at the Board of Water and Lights Riotown cogeneration plant and the Lansing Fire Department Station 8. So you have seen more of this city than 99% of the rest of this city. You've seen more of this city than most city workers have seen of this city. You are our experts. You know more about this city than most other people. And congratulations for that. It deserves a round of applause. You've been very interactive. You have asked incredible questions. You have been here every Wednesday since September 5th to spend your weeknight learning about local government. And as I think about it, I was in the legislature, I work for the Michigan Municipal League. You probably know more about local government than 99% of the rest of the state or country. So be advised, we're going to tap you as local government experts. But it's just awesome. And when we had our initial class, I'm off script, sorry Andi, I'm working on it though. But when we put this out there, we really didn't know what was going to happen. Is anybody really going to want to know what local government does? But we had more applicants than we had spots. So we had a lottery, and you all won the lottery. Congratulations. And the great thing is you're going to be our ambassadors, and you're going to go spread the word. The hard thing is when we do this next year, we're probably going to get like 3 times the applicants. So it's going to be even more challenging, but that's a good problem to have. It's a good problem when you have people who want to know how their government works. They want to know how their tax dollars are spent. And in talking to a few of you here and there, I had the email sent to me when you email. You all know how hard our employees work at the city. Whether you agree or disagree with a policy decision that I make, that City Council makes, our city employees work as hard as anyone. And I think you all know that. I hope you all know that. And I'm proud of them, and I'm excited to have you all understand kind of everything that goes on. I want to call out the 6 participants with perfect attendance. Brian Baer, Crystal Davis, Christine Lundberg, Hugh McNichol, Jennifer Paw, and Kathy Toby. Congratulations. That's not to say anything bad about anybody else, because you all have lives and life happens and things come up, so you miss things here and there, and that's okay. But being able to say that they have been to every one of those places that I just called out, it's an incredible achievement, an incredible accomplishment. So I'm going to stop there because I know there's a program, we have certificates, and there's a big cake right over there that we're going to have to cut into because no one's going to want to cut into the great symbol that's on the cake. But congratulations, everybody. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being Lansing's ambassadors and really understanding what we do at the city. I'm learning it as you do, so thanks for everything.
So we're going to have a couple of remarks from some of our participants. And so I'd like to invite up Remedios Robinson, Angie Bowner, and Raleigh Van Fossen. Come on up.
Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Remedios Robinson. I would like to tell you my experience in the past and present. I would like to begin with my by saying how much the Lansing Citizens Academy has improved my quality of life and the understanding of how the different government offices interact with the taxpayer and each other. I am from the Philippines, and to have the opportunity to learn about the American government through the Lansing Citizens Academy has been wonderful. I would like to thank Mayor Andi Schor, Lansing Citizens Council President Carol Wood, and the good members of the mayor's staff and, and different departments for their time and patience and their participation with the Lansing Citizens Academy. I would also like to thank those that have helped me achieve a great quality of life and understand important importance of attending the Lansing Citizens Academy. Dale Gibbs, the former chief of police of Hesperia, Michigan, who valiant effort freed me from human trafficking situation I had suffered for about 21 years. John Darling, a brilliant man who sponsored me in learning what it took to work for a railroad safely and become the strong woman I am today. Steve Hoy, another railroader who mentored me in, in the how and why of personal conduct and appreciation of what I have learned at the academy. My parents, Farshana and Cecilia Golondrina, who taught me the good values of life and perseverance of honor and truth. And my husband, Michael Robinson, the person who I ask nothing but greatly gives his love and respect and devotion in our marriage as a friend, a partner, and someone who has my back. Thank you, and I am proud to be an American and hope all of my cohorts Godspeed and safe journeys in your life. Life also, too. Thank you. I'm a bit nervous. Thank you.
I was asked to speak tonight, and when I was wondering why they picked me, maybe it's because I seem to have no problem talking. They said to talk about just your experience at the academy, and let's just say it's been amazing. I applied to the academy, and I was looking for answers to questions I never asked. I have to be honest, I did not like the previous mayor. I thought decisions were made that were ridiculous, like who puts benches on the side of the highway. Nice landscape, nice bench, but not 496. Still a touchy subject. So to better understand the mayor and his staff, I had to find a way to better understand and not give him a nickname. So I applied to the Diversity Council, but I wasn't chosen. A little bitter, but I still felt I had to give the administration a chance. So as my usual morning, I'm scrolling on Twitter, I saw the announcement, and I eagerly found the information online, which I thought was the Police Citizens Academy. And I applied. But when I got the acceptance email, I was so excited and nervous, but after the first meeting, I knew I made the right decision. To see the diversity among the participants, to hear the same and even different perspectives gave me a grateful feeling. We all love this city. We want to better understand the good and the bad of it. My family is near, my grandgirls are here, my daughters are here. The best life memories have been in this city. Whether it was skipping school and going to Potter Park and renting a canoe, or being upset that Walter French was being closing, and something's becoming of it now. The tears I cried to see the Oldsmobile plants being torn down. When I say tears, I mean alligators going over the MLK Bridge. And although I work for the county as a community health worker, I mainly serve the citizens of Lansing. And now I can share with them when they complain that a city inspector hasn't come back, Maybe they were on call last night and they had a late night. Why don't you just call the office? Or maybe they wonder why some bike repair showed up in a little park. And I can say, that neighborhood asked for it and they got it. Or I can tell my clients that, and my patients that I now serve at the Forest Community Health Center, that there are tons of free, low, affordable events that you can attend for not just you, but your children. And I can share that when I find in the near future, BWL will offer an affordable budget for our citizens as well, and that our firemen that work for our department are the finest. I guess you could say I take away more than anything is pride to be part of it.
It's going to be tough to follow both of those. And I was also questioning why I was asked to speak tonight and try to write some thoughts of the positive experience I had through this program. I do want to thank again Mayor Schor, Clerk Swope, Director Crawford, and everybody else who's a part of the city that's here tonight for giving us 20 or so of us the opportunity to participate in this program. We have reason to celebrate. We're the inaugural class of the Citizens Academy that hopefully, as years to come, will continue, and that 20 or so more will be able to apply next year and more the following year to gain a better understanding of how the city of Lansing operates, the people who dedicate their time as workers in the city, and the service that they give all of us who call this place home. My experience here has been great. We got a lot of different looks, a lot of different corners, some that haven't been looked at for a couple years, some that only a few people in the entire city get to see on a daily basis, whether it's behind-the-scenes tour of the Lugnut Stadium or my favorite, the underground tour of the wastewater treatment, aside from the unique smells that Director Kilpatrick took us all through and took a couple days and a couple different washes of my clothes to get rid of, but they've gone. But it's those unique opportunities that not everybody gets to take. I'm able to share with my coworkers and friends those experiences and hopefully inspire them to also apply. I'm looking at some of them right now as hopeful future applicants. But I thought as I was coming here today, what my experience was, and as a young person, somebody under the age of 30, that's what drew me to want to apply, because I've seen a lot of my peers, whether it was at my time at Michigan State or in high school, leave Michigan, leave East Lansing, leave the greater mid-Michigan area. And I asked myself, I've stayed, and why aren't they finding that same positive opportunities here? And so I wanted to get involved to see what is the city doing to help keep young people here, and getting the in-depth look at the city departments, understanding that there are jobs available, there are a lot of jobs available, a lot of good jobs available, gives me a newfound appreciation that as a young person, you can call this place home. You can find growth. You don't have to go to Chicago. You don't have to go to New York. You get the big city feel in a small community. I'm a proud new homeowner in the old Oakland neighborhood. I've met some neighbors of mine here through this program, and those are the experiences that I'm going to be taking home after we conclude this program. So I want to say thank you again to the city. Thank you again to Director Crawford, her whole team, Martha, Aaron, Rich, Delisa, and so forth for doing all of this, the great food you've provided us all throughout these Wednesdays. And I'm going to find out what I'm going to do from 6:30 until 8:30 now on all my Wednesday nights. Won't be going back to smell the wastewater treatment facility, but I'll be finding out what's next. It is close to my house. But thank you. So I appreciate the opportunity. I hope you've all gained something. I've learned to be a better citizen, and I intend to share that with my neighbors, and glad to call you all neighbors here tonight. Thank you.
As you know, Lansing Public Media Center was there with cameras the whole time while you were doing all of these things. So we're really blessed within the city to have an incredibly talented and by and large willing camera crew to do what we ask. They've done so much for us this year in a variety of programs, but we love to be able to share out, obviously, this program because it is very intensive, very complicated to put together, and frankly quite costly to host. It will always be limited in the number of people that can participate in it, and we will offer it annually, but we will offer it just once a year because it is quite a lift for us. So we want to make sure that other people get to have a little bit of that experience. We don't have smell-o-vision yet, so it will only be two-dimensional. But this is the world premiere of Citizens Academy the movie. You obviously are a group of overachievers because everyone is here by 6:31, so we're off to a great start. Are you so excited? I know, it's so great. We've got a great cross-section of the City of Lansing residents here.
It's really exciting.
The best one that I liked so far was the one when we were at the Cooley Law Stadium.
All right, now the fun stuff. Let's go downstairs.
I am most interested in the Citizens Academy because I wanted to be able to be more engaged with my government.
I'm more about the safety of the Riddle Park. It's all about the safety.
I've been working with some neighborhood groups for quite a while now.
I was definitely interested in inner workings of the mayor's office and city council.
I had a question about this population.
It's a passion of mine. I went to school for politics, and I work in a nonprofit here in the city of Lansing. So when this opportunity came about, I knew I had to apply because I knew I wanted to know more.
I want to be able to share all of the great things that are happening in Lansing and whatever the challenges may be, what the city is doing to work on those.
We are live here at station number 8 in the city of Lansing for Citizens Academy. Anybody, no applause?
These guys train and work hard, and we have this kind of equipment helping all our citizens.
I've learned a ton, more in a few weeks than I have in the 15, 16 years that I've been in Lansing.
We're not just in the same classroom every week, we're actually on site. Probably one of my favorite experiences so far was going to the wastewater treatment facility, and it's different. Instead of just sitting in a classroom getting a PowerPoint about it, we were actually there.
It's been amazing. I've enjoyed every minute of it so far.
Now I'm proud to say that I can really be a supporter and promoter and to get people to love Lansing.
I'm so happy to meet everybody here in Lansing, and thank you.
So, we're going to recognize you as graduates. So, Brian Bear, my neighbor. Yep. Angie Bowner. That's what I said. Teresa Boosen. Mark Brown. Crystal Davis. Elaine Fishoff. Miriam Garcia. Christine Lundberg. Jenny McInerney. I should have pronounced that. I'm sorry, Jenny. Hugh McNichol. Enrique Mendoza. Jennifer Powell. I'll take a pause for a second. I know, I stopped. Pause. And this is a party, by the way, so feel free to make as much noise as you'd like. Don't overthink it, folks, you know. Carly Pollock. Tracy Ramirez. Remy Robinson. Kimberly Steed Page. I don't think I see. Cole Tissue. Kathy Toby, who is sick tonight, by the way. Kathy's homesick. Brandel Tomanica. Raleigh Van Fossen. and Anna Wolkin. Is that everybody? That is not everybody. Vicki Miller. Hopefully that's everybody. Yes? All right. Come on over here, Vicki. And like to invite City Clerk Chris Swope up. So I will tell you, after we did, like I said, I learned so much at every single one of the classes that I was at. And I will tell you, City Clerk, as we were heading into the elections, that I left this session with just a tremendous respect for the complexity of the job that I really didn't understand before, and a great confidence that it was being handled incredibly well by yourself and your staff. And going into an election, that just made me feel just really just grateful that we have such care that goes into the way we interact with our elections and select our government. So thank you for the work you do.
Thank you. All right. So I said we have all these folks, we have to acknowledge them and swear them into office so that we can make it official that their job is not just learning about the city, but being an advocate for the city. So we are going to swear you all in as citizen ambassadors, okay? So if you could all raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Citizen Advocate. Citizen Ambassador. I said it wrong. It's written right. Citizen Ambassador. According to the best of my ability. All right, congratulations. We have a certificate for each of you and a city pin. And everybody gets a city pin when they take the oath of office. So, congratulations.
Didn't know there was responsibility here, did you?
Yeah. So when you pick these up, just sign your oath.
Thank you, everyone, so much on behalf of the City of Lansing. Congratulations to all these graduates. Thank you to family and friends for coming out and celebrating with us. We are really proud of you. It's so important to us that we have citizens that are engaged and that are serving on our boards and active as citizens. It truly is the only way that democracy works. And so thank you for being a part of our city, and thank you for doing this and all the things that you will go on to do. Clearly, you're engaged citizens, and that's exactly what we need here, locally, and across the country. So we're proud of you. We will invite afterwards. The mayor will be here. You can do photos, certainly with your family and friends if you'd like. Please introduce your kids to the mayor if you'd like, all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for being here. It's a delight to meet your family and friends, and look forward to working with you for many years to come in this city. Thank you.